Everyone, welcome back to the home studio. My name is Stevie Richards. In today's video, we are going to compare two all-in-one trainers. The Force USA C10 sliding bench all-in-one trainer, which I currently have in my garage gym, and we're going to compare that to another all-in-one trainer from the Force USA lineup, the G15 Pro, which we have plenty of videos up here on the YouTube channel on the G15 Pro and a few on the C10. More to come on the C10 in future videos, so please subscribe and click the bell to get notified. So what we have here is the Force USA website on a very large smart board that we're trying to incorporate into the videos here at Stevie Richards Fitness. So comment below, let me know what you think. This is either going to stay here or actually go out into the garage gym for workouts, reviews, and other informational videos. Hopefully there's good information. We try our best. But this site right here, I have to really just commend the Force USA website team because they make it easier than ever for you to make a choice of what's right for you, or more importantly, what you should not purchase. And here we have the all-in-one comparison charts, and you can pick anything that you want. So we're going to use this drop down, go to the C10, that comes up right there, and then the G15 Pro. Now, I didn't mention that a lot of audience members were asking about this particular comparison video and my opinion on the C10 now that I own and the G15 Pro that I did own. And one person in particular here had said, "Thanks for the review. You appear to have had a G15 before and have switched to the C10 with sliding bench. Were you not happy with the G15 and find the C10 better?" In the same situation now, where comparing them, they are similar in footprint, but the C10 seems smaller and better for a 3x3 meter room. The G15, I think, has more room around the Smith bar in operation, and it has a counter resistance rather than being weighted on the C10. But C10 has better central pulley system with a 1-to-1 cable pulley ratio if combined, and hack squats and things. I think you can also remove that little extender clip to get a better stretch. So if given a choice, would you keep the C10 or G15? And how do you find supersetting on both machines? Great question. A lot of people have echoed and mirrored this particular question with the C10 since I owned the G15 Pro before. Just a little bit of context. I had a spine infection a couple years ago, and I wasn't able to do anything for a very long time and needed to reset my fitness journey back then to body weight, isometrics, and bands. I was not using the G15 Pro for quite some time, so we ended up giving that to a family friend, knowing that we were going to replace it. We review products all the time, that I was going to get something to replace that. So, spoiler on that, there's nothing wrong with the G15 Pro. I really love the 2-to-1 and 4-to-1 cable pulley ratios, which most people in the audience actually pushed back on that and said, I don't need 4-to-1 cable pulley ratio. Well, you people out there are much stronger than me, so that's why I did that, so my wife and I can work out on some light accessory work with the cables on that. So these points are great, but we're going to go as if we are a brand new consumer. I'm going to explain my opinions, and in the end, I am going to tell you which I do believe is better out of the C10 and G15. Now, if you want me to do the G12, the X15, and other ones, let me know in the comments below. So we're talking about dimensions first of the C10 versus G15 Pro. The height is 87 inches on the C10 and 87.5 inches on the G15 Pro. Might not seem like a big deal, but in our previous apartment gym, the ceilings were pretty low, so we needed every centimeter, not even an inch, but every centimeter or fraction of an inch to make sure that we could at least somewhat do pull-ups. That's probably the big thing, not only the height of those cable pulleys or the highest point of the all-in-one trainers, but being able to do things like pull-ups. Those are the two things you got to worry about. So the width right here, and this person in the comments who asked the questions, absolutely right. 76.5 inches wide right here to 79.5 inches wide on the G15 Pro. Not a big deal, but limited space, that 3 inches right there is a big deal. Here we have the depth right here, 51.5 inches deep to 53 inches deep. So the G15 Pro is a little bit larger all around, a little bit higher, wider, and deeper than the C10. Now, here is an interesting fact right here. The inner height, the interior working space of the C10 is 81 inches. The interior working space of the G15 Pro is 78 inches. So you get a smaller footprint, but you get a little bit more, 3 inches more of interior height working space. And then we have right here the interior width. So the height here is 81 to 78, but the width, that's the actual working space that you're going to get. The width and the depth are really important. The height is, but normally people don't stand in that. So it's broken down even into the width and the depth. 37 inches versus 40.5. That can make a huge difference when you're talking about Smith machine presses like regular bench press, incline press, shoulder press, and your elbows, if you're a bigger or taller or wider user, or all of those things, may really make a huge difference. So the inner depth right here, this is a big deal too. If you have a bench you need to get in there, if you need to position yourself for those Smith machine benches, you have right here 43.5 inches versus 48. 5 full inches of depth they've added on to the G15 Pro. So as far as interior working space, the G15 Pro is really going to be better than the C10. Now, this does not affect the sliding bench aspect of that, because the sliding bench enables you to have interior to exterior working space as it slides. You will need a little bit more room on the depth outside of the all-in-one trainer, but we have a dedicated video coming very soon. Another question from the audience, thank you very much, that asked to measure all that stuff. I'm going to take a measuring tape and measure every element around the C10 to see if it fits, or more importantly, after you get the freight delivery, does not fit in there. So stay tuned for that. So strength training systems, 13 to 12 right there. Here's a big deal if you own a business. The C10 is not commercially rated as far as the Force USA website talks about it, but the G15 Pro has a check mark on commercial. So upright size are both 2x2s. So some people want 3x3s and stuff like that. 2x2, I've never noticed a difference. If you're a power lifter or more of an expert than I am, then you can comment below and let me know. But 2x2 is completely fine with me. The weight stack pounds, 2 times 220 pounds, and then the G15 Pro is 2 times 289. Cable pulley ratio, 2 to 1 on both of them, and the 4 to 1 on the G15 Pro. Now I'm going to say this, you can join in the middle, say for lat pull downs, they have an attachment there that you can get a 1-to-1 cable pulley ratio. And also with both of them, you use the camber bars that are included with both of them for attachments and use that in a 1-to-1 fashion. But the C10 is designed for that 1-to-1 on the pull downs, or if you want to work interiorly with that bar and that kind of like triangle hook, then you can do push downs and stuff like that, and you can do them much heavier. Now, where it becomes interesting on the C10 front, the lower pulleys create a 1-to-2 cable pulley ratio, which basically means when you're working your legs, squats, leg presses, even rows, whatever you're doing, now you have a 1-to-2, which makes it a 440-pound weight stack. There, bang for the buck on the weight stacks, the C10 might be the way to go, but also, like I said, the 4-to-1 cable pulley ratio of the G15 Pro is better for really light accessory work. So you have to decide which direction your fitness journey is going in, how many people are working on it, and what their fitness journey goals are as well. So machine weight rating, both are 992. It's pretty standard across the board. West side spacing is a big deal to some people. The C10 does not have that. The G15 Pro does have that. Attachment adjustment points 34 to 60, included attachments 15 for the C10, 17 for the G15 Pro. And of course, they all have the power rack, functional trainer, Smith machine, chin-up station, low row. And now we have the leg press being optional on both, where you want to buy this as a vertical leg press on the G15 Pro. I used to love vertical leg presses, but my back right now, my hips, it's not really. The C10 kind of makes me like that version of leg presses. I mean, in a perfect world, get a 45-degree full leg press or the combo, but people do not have that kind of space sometimes. I may be one of them as well. So these all-in-one trainers with the leg press attachment capability makes a big deal for bang for your buck and also the most amount of utility within a small footprint. Here we have lat pull down, core trainer included. That's just the thing you put the barbell on, do the little twist with that, and a core trainer with that. It's optional in G15 Pro with an upgrade attachment. We have a review on that as well. The dip station, which I wish was included with the C10. I love the dip handles. You get that with the G15 Pro. You do not get that, included. It is an option right now for about 130 bucks, 129 maybe to be exact. I'll put the price up. That's what you would pay for that extra with the dip station. Suspension trainer, that's a hook right there. You hook a TRX up or whatever, and you can see the calf raise, swing arm. The swing arm is like the G20 Pro. We did a thing on that with the boxing bag. Jammer arms are optional. Light developer is optional. Band pegs, some people love this. G15 Pro has band pegs. The C10 does not have band pegs. So very strange right there. I don't know why they didn't include a band peg option. Barbell storage, weight plate storage, attachment storage, all that stuff. I actually have the Storage Rack Pro. We should do a review on that. That's an excellent, excellent storage solution. The storage shelves I really loved on the G15 Pro. You don't get them on the C10. Also the exercise chart, not a big deal. See it in action. Here's maybe the most important thing right here. The C10 is $4,500. The G15 Pro is $5,500. So you need the sliding bench to really get the full functionality out of the C10. So it's an extra cost, but it still takes you below the $5,500 thing. By the way, I know the smart board's mounted way too high. It's heavy, so we need to drop it down. Right now, I look like a little person, but it's a big, big smart board. So $4,500, and even including that sliding bench, you're still under the $5,500 mark. So the price might be a big deal to you, and that is a value for what you're getting. You just have to really think about what you need it for. Now, speaking from experience, having the G15 Pro for a while, say a year and a half before my spine infection, about a year and a half, I had a lot of videos out here on the G15 Pro, and now having the C10 and that person asking for utility, functionality, and all that stuff, did not talk about the price. If it was price only and you wanted to add on, you want to get that Storage Rack Pro because there's no shelving or anything, and you want to get the sliding bench and you want to be able to have that functionality because you don't want to buy the 45-degree leg press or leg press hack squat combo, I think the C10 is an excellent value. I actually have a full review coming up on the sliding bench alone because I have mixed feelings about it, especially with a herniated disc in my L2 level. That there makes it a little trickier to do the leg presses, especially because what you're using is the seat portion of the bench as the back support. So I don't get enough from that. That's a little spoiler right there, but I'm trying to do workarounds and trying to figure it out so I don't inflame that herniated disc. There's a lot of people to get the sliding bench basically because they have a bad back. That's why really I got the C10, was because the sliding bench represented, or should I say replicated, what the Total Gym was. And what I really loved about the sliding bench training on the Total Gym, it was awesome. And this was a way to get heavier weight, heavier resistance training, and getting the same benefit that the Total Gym, for the most part, was giving me. But the C10 will probably be the way to go. And then adding in that sliding bench, which really does open up the features and utility of the C10, then that would be the way to go because you're still going to be under that $5,500 mark. So you might even get, like right now at the time of this recording, so if you're watching us down the line, they might not have it, but Force USA actually has free plates with certain purchases. So whether you get the black rubber coated bumper plates or the actual full colored bumper plates, that sale is going on right now. So even if you use my link, forceusa.com/Stevie, you save on top of that special. So you can stack your savings no matter what you go for, the C10 or G15 Pro. And that discount and this special right at the moment of this recording could be enough for you to say, I'll get the G15 Pro. Both are excellent, but like I said, the 1-to-2 cable pulley ratio on the bottom portion of the pulleys, or the 2-to-1 and 4-to-1 cable pulley ratios of the G15 Pro is another option or another feature comparison that you really have to think about what your fitness journey is going to be moving forward, and also the people in your family, your group, your friends, people to work out on these all-in-one trainers. You really need to figure that out, because this thing, both of them are a bitch to assemble. So that's why I pay for the professional assembly service. So I know I went back and forth a little bit, but this is not a black and white issue, an easy decision, this versus this. You got to think about your situation. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Once again, if you want to save on anything in the Force USA lineup, forceusa.com/Stevie. I know this was kind of a long video, and I'm kind of thinking through it like you would as a brand new consumer. And hopefully this helps, and hopefully we can do more comparison reviews. So please subscribe, click the bell to get notified. And most importantly, God bless each and every one of you. Have a great day.